utterly, because I didn't want to feel like I was wearing the pads I wore when I was 12.
Then I tried the Always Discreet pads.
They fit perfectly in the place they're supposed to.
Look how much it holds, and it still stays thin.
It's the protection we deserve. It was just crazy.
Tomorrow, we get Dirty Dancing sequel secrets from Jennifer Grey as the original turns 35. Plus, Only We're with Patrick Swayze's widow, Lisa, sharing private memories.
I feel like he's with me every day.
And Heidi Klum talks about her daughter, Lenny, following in her modeling footsteps. All right, before we go, I want you to...
Happening now.
Roughly a year and a half into its existence, the city's homeless street outreach team has multiple vacant positions. We talked with the city about what's behind it.
These bandages and compression garments can be potential lifesavers for cancer survivors. Coming up, how a local attorney is trying to make them more affordable.
A little frontal boundary will pay us a visit, likely increasing our rain chances. I'll tell you who's the most likely to see the rain starting tomorrow in just a bit. News at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, we have a breaking news alert from the San Antonio Police Department. They are looking for this man, 24-year-old Ronald Williams.
He is wanted in connection with the death of his 6-month-old son, whose name was not released. San Antonio police tell us the baby was taken to the hospital on Sunday for traumatic injuries, and he didn't survive. Medical staff contacted SAPD saying the injuries did not coincide with the story given by the Guardians.
The baby's death has now been ruled a homicide by the Bexar County Medical Examiner. SAPD has a warrant out for Williams' arrest now. He faces a charge of injury to a child, serious bodily injury. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you can call homicide detectives at 210-207-7635. New at 5, a city program that focuses on connecting San Antonio's homeless population with the help they need now needs some help of its own.
Yeah, several city council districts are in need of their own homeless outreach coordinator.
Garrett Berger tells us more about what may be keeping them back.
It was late March when District 4 last had its own homeless outreach worker. For nearly 5 months, it's been sharing a team member with its Southside neighbor, District 3.
It's entirely unfair. We have the 2 largest areas. We should actually have 2 each, in my opinion.
But they'll both have 0 soon. As the city says, the D3 outreach worker's last day is next week. With D5 gone in the past month, too, that will leave 3 contiguous districts with vacant positions.
It is a big challenge. In addition to being high need, there's large geographies.
The first members of the city's homeless street outreach team started in February of 2021. Their job is to work with the chronically homeless and try to help connect them with shelters, detox, or other programs.
Being able to see almost in real time that kind of what's going on out on the street and how we can adjust and respond to that. That's been a key value for us.
There are problems hiring and keeping staff. For the 11 positions, they've now had 5 resignations, and one of them, downtown, has never been filled. Instead, the city has contracted with Central San Antonio to cover it.
And we're looking to still fill that.
There are 2 tiers of team members, clinicians and specialists, separated by their qualifications. And it's been harder to get applicants for the more advanced clinician roles.
We would post the position for months and get 2 applicants.
So the city has since switched 2 clinician spots to specialists. But the job, whatever the title, is a tough one.
We're seeing a lot of people who have experienced significant trauma in their lives.
And staff have to decide if it's worth the pay, which currently ranges from $45,000 to $82,000, though the proposed budget includes at least a 7% pay bump for all civilian employees. As for the 3 district vacancies, the city says they've extended offers to people already. Whether they take them and keep them will be the question. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
50 years in prison. It's the sentence handed down to Fernando Rojas, a man convicted in the 2021 shooting deaths of 2 people. Jonathan Fan and Serena Bain were killed in August of last year after they and a man named Joe Buck got into an argument with Rojas in southeast Bexar County. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office said the shooting was the result of a domestic dispute. Buck was shot in the head but survived. Rojas was arrested 6 days later in Las Vegas. In exchange for his guilty plea, Rojas was sentenced to 50 years for the murders and 20 years for the aggravated assault. Those sentences will run concurrently.
Also new at 5, an update on a fatal crash from over the weekend. The 45-year-old man who died along Highway 90 on Sunday has now been identified as Angel Gutierrez. He crashed Sunday afternoon on Highway 90 between 36th Street and South General McMullen. SAPD says he lost control, veered off the road, and then crashed into a pillar that had an overhead sign. No one else was hurt.
Let's take a quick check of your evening commute here with TransGuide. You're looking at I-35 at Splashtown. No trouble to report there. Everything moving along quite smoothly. Turning now to a safety recall for hundreds of thousands of General Motors SUVs. The company says there could be issues with seat belts in the third row of 2021 and 2022 Cadillac Escalades, Chevy Suburbans, Tahoes, and GMC Yukons. It affects more than 485,000 SUVs. So far, no accidents or injuries have been reported. Contact your dealer for a fix.
A breast cancer survivor and criminal defense attorney now battling for other survivors. Cynthia Orr is a patient at the Mays Cancer Center at UT Health San Antonio. She is suffering from a complication that is common with this type of cancer.
It's often long-delayed side effect of the radiation and chemotherapy they undergo, known as lymphedema. Jesse DeGoyata tells us Orr is championing federal legislation to make the treatment she's getting more affordable for more survivors.
Twice a day, Cynthia Orr unwraps the arm she'd wrapped earlier and changes the compression garment she wears, all exerting pressure to reduce swelling caused by lymphedema.
It's a swelling of the arm as the plumbing of the arm is affected during surgery, radiation, and the chemotherapy treatments.
It took transplanting lymph nodes from her stomach into her arm to restore the circulation in her lymphatic system, then compression treatments to manage it.
Isn't that amazing?
It's looking really good, Miss Orr.
Yep.
They say these bandages and compression garments don't come cheap, especially over time for a chronic condition. As much as $1,000 a year, they say. None of it covered by insurance, Medicare, or Medicaid. Dr. Fricke says that's because these aren't generally considered necessary medical devices.
Unfortunately not. It's very surprising to me as well, yeah.
You know, it's expensive, but not as expensive as the complications.
Dangerous complications 40% of patients can develop, they say, without what she's using for her lymphedema. And being that many patients at the Mays Cancer Center are on Medicaid or have no insurance,
makes it very, very difficult to get them the care that they need to prevent this condition from worsening.
Realizing she had to change that, Orr says lit her on fire with her resolution adopted by the American Bar Association.
So look how you turned something that was negative into something positive.
Recognition by First Lady Dr. Jill Biden and lobbying members of Congress, urging passage of the bipartisan Lymphedema Treatment Act.
Because it's really needed.
Jesse DeGoyata, KSAT 12 News.
An update now on monkeypox cases in Texas. A child under 2 years old in Houston has now tested positive for the virus. Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo says that the child has a rash, but no other symptoms. The child was not in daycare or school setting, so health officials are still trying to figure out how the child became infected. This is the 7th child monkeypox case of the country, the first one in Texas. Meantime, cases in Bexar County remain at 20.
The U.S. may be about 3 weeks away from seeing new COVID-19 boosters, and federal health officials are calling the new vaccine a substantial upgrade from what we currently have. The goal is to target the original strain of COVID and the new subvariant BA.5 ahead of a winter surge. However, the CDC and the FDA still need to sign off. If they approve, there are already millions of doses secured.
And speaking of the CDC, changes in store for the health agency. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky announcing that it's going to be working on a new action-oriented culture. She says the culture will emphasize accountability, collaboration, communication, and timeliness. The CDC also wants to do away with those confusing guidance documents and get data and science published faster.
We are now just 1 day away from a judge deciding whether to unseal the affidavit regarding the FBI search at Mar-a-Lago last week. Tomorrow, the same judge who authorized the search warrant will make that decision. Former President Trump supports the affidavit being unsealed, but the DOJ is arguing against it, saying it could damage the investigation.
Ironically, the Department of Justice and Mr. Trump believe that the same thing will occur if the affidavit is released. They both believe that the investigation will be impeded. They both believe that sources will be compromised.
Now, this all has to deal with classified documents being seized from Trump's Florida home last week. Since then, ABC News is reporting former White House counsel Pat Cipollone and his deputy were both interviewed by the FBI about the storing of those documents.
We asked and you answered. We're talking about a recent KSAT survey that focused on the summer power strain in your electricity bills. Out of 667 participants, nearly 98% of you said they were pricier bills than normal, of course. The majority of those are CPS Energy customers, but there was a small percentage of customers who belong to the New Braunfels Utilities, GVEC, and Floresville Electric Light and Power System. If you want to read more about what some people are doing to lower their costs, you can head over to KSAT.com and look for this article.
And today, those high thin clouds helped us out a bit. 97 for the high temperature, and our average actually drops down to 96. I say drops because our highest average high temperature is 97. So climatologically, we're basically at the peak of our heat for the year. But of course, we could still have more triple-digit days. We have them into September sometimes. 97 right now, Del Rio. Leon Springs, 95. Seguin made it up to 100 in Helen's backyard. 98 Micah Windcrest right now at 96. Pretty quiet out there, just partly cloudy, increasing humidity, a southeasterly breeze at 5 to 15, and temperatures falling down into the upper 80s by 10 o'clock. However, a frontal boundary is headed our way. Don't expect big temperature changes, but there will be better chances of rain in some parts of our area soon. We'll talk about that in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Water restrictions getting stricter for people in several states. It comes as the Colorado River Basin is suffering from a major lack of rain. Experts say it's nothing new and the issue has been decades in the making, but now the lack of action has pushed the water shortage to a near breaking point. It's why states like Arizona, Nevada, and New Mexico are being required to cut back on water usage come January because there are simply no other options.
If you think that you're going to avoid this, do a rain dance, go pray, do whatever, that we have a great winter, you're insane.
Arizona will have to reduce its annual usage by 21%. Other states that rely on the basin are Utah, Wyoming, and California. No cuts have been announced in those states as of yet.
The kids are off to school, and by the time they get home, they are tired and hungry. As exciting as the first day is, it's also exhausting to get back into this routine. We have some tips to help your kids succeed when we come back.
Myra Arthur here in the KSAT 12 newsroom. Here's a look at what's coming up on the news at 6 o'clock today. It is the largest health care expansion in VA history. It's called the Pact Act. The new law means more veterans exposed to toxins can get treatment, but not everyone may qualify. Arcamelia Juarez explains how you can get the care that you need today at 6. Plus, a county attorney threatens to prosecute students and their parents after kids miss school. As districts across Texas move away from criminalizing truancy, records obtained by the KSAT Investigates team show the Karnes County attorney took a very different approach, going into homes to search for children who were not in class.
I am absolutely stunned. I mean, when was the last time you read the paper about a county attorney or district attorney entering a private residence?
You can catch this KSAT Investigates report and more today on the news at 6.
Thank you, Myra. We'll see you then. Back to school means getting back into a routine.
It does, and the healthier the routine, the better, right? 12 on your side's Marilyn Wards with a checklist to help your kids kick off a great year.
After a fun in the sun summer, it can be an adjustment to get back into the swing of things at school, especially sleep habits. Start with screen time.
Personal devices should be turned off well before bedtime. Smartphones, tablets, and laptops can emit blue light, which can disturb kids' sleep patterns.
Of course, your student needs to be up to date on the required immunizations like tetanus, polio, chickenpox, and for older kids, the meningococcal vaccine, which prevents meningitis. Flu season will be here before you know it, so health experts recommend getting the flu shot by the end of October. And of course, the COVID-19 vaccine offers protection too. As kids gather, they'll share all kinds of things, including germs. Hand washing can prevent a lot of colds and other respiratory infections.
They'll have a new routine at school, so remind them to wash with soap and water for at least 20 seconds at key times, like after bathroom breaks, before lunch, or after playing outside.
You can boost your child's health by sending them off with a healthy breakfast and packing a balanced lunch with whole grains, protein, and fruit or veggie, and dairy. If you can keep it interesting, there's a greater chance they'll eat it. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Take a live look outside with Live Cam. Sky 12, high above the Tower of the Americas, Alamo Dome back there, getting ready for the KSAT Pigskin Classic coming up.
And 97 degrees out there, but feels like a bit more.
Yeah, you know, we've got the humidity out there and just shy of 100 degrees today, but we're still just one 100-degree day away from tying the record for the most in a given year. We do have a very weak frontal boundary that's going to approach tomorrow and kind of linger into Friday. Don't expect any real temperature changes with it, just a wind shift. And what it does is going to create some convergence in the wind that will then help develop some showers. But most of the rain looks like it'll be along and north of Highway 90, actually in the areas that missed out on the tropical moisture from the system just a few days ago. So let's get right to it. Pretty quiet on the radar screen right now, not much out there. Still far west Texas dealing with, or really benefiting from, that little tropical swirl and tropical moisture. It's good to see some much needed rainfall in far west Texas and even parts of New Mexico and northern Mexico today. This is that weak boundary that's dropping southward. It's a wind shift line more than anything. It just moved through Dallas and it's going to slowly push southward and stall out. But again, give us that convergence where the winds come together. And when they come together, they hit each other. And because of the ground, it can't go down, so it's forced to go up. And that gives us our lift. That helps us out in generating some showers. All right, here's a look at our Futurecast. Noon tomorrow, I think a decent amount of sunshine. Once we get into the afternoon, as the front drops in from the north, some scattered activity developing in the hill country. This is our Futurecast at 3 o'clock. Then we go into 4 o'clock, a little more numerous. 5 o'clock as well, getting closer to San Antonio. Widely separated activity, even east of town along I-10 and Highway 90. And I do think most of the rain will be along and especially north of Highway 90 tomorrow. This is our Futurecast at 7 p.m. And keep in mind, this is just one computer model rendition of what's going to happen. But this is a pretty reliable one, and I like what it shows in terms of the stratification of the rain. 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Of course, the activity tapers off a bit when we lose the daytime heating, but I still think we'll have some rogue showers here and there through the night tomorrow. Okay, here's another way to look at it. Here are the rain chances. You get up into Kerr County, Kendall County, northern Comal County, even Hayes, Caldwell counties. I've got a 60% chance. Around San Antonio, 40%. That goes into Bandera, Pipe Creek, even Rio Medina, Seguin, a 40% chance. And then those chances really fall off farther to the south from Eagle Pass, Carrizo Springs, Cotulla, Fowlerton, Tilden, Beeville, 0% for folks farther to the south. But that's where we got the good tropical moisture over the weekend and even on into Monday. And now, speaking of tropical moisture, we're still watching this area of just disorganized activity. It's a cluster of thunderstorms near the Yucatan Peninsula. This is going to be crossing the Yucatan Peninsula into the Bay of Campeche, the western Gulf of Mexico, in the coming days. Right now, Hurricane Center has it pegged at a 30% chance of developing into a tropical system. So that would give us a slight chance of a few showers on Sunday. Tomorrow, locally, a 40% chance. Friday, still some isolated activity, 30%. And then 20 with some of that tropical moisture. Sunday, we're giving it a 20% chance. And next week, we could be getting into a pretty favorable pattern for rainfall. It's too early to really boost the chances, but right now I've got it at 30% with the potential to go much higher. So really cross your fingers for that. 96 right now. Dew point is 65. Feels like 99. 91 in Uvalde, Kerrville right now, 97. Gonzales, 101. Divine, triple digits even. Hondo at 96, along with Helotes at this hour. Tomorrow morning, we start at 78, partly cloudy. I think a good amount of sunshine up until about 4 p.m. And then notice how those rain chances quickly jump by 5 o'clock up to 40%, even higher north of San Antonio, and still some rain chances through sunset and into the nighttime hours. But again, most of the rain tomorrow along and especially north of Highway 90. We could squeeze out 100 degrees, New Braunfels, Gonzales, even Seguin, just before those showers start to develop. Otherwise, high temperatures looking to be below 100. Our really best shot at maybe hitting 100 and tying the record is tomorrow. We've got us at 98.
All right, Adam, thank you.
All right, we're all excited about the start of the football season, but the NBA season not far off from either.
Yeah, the regular season schedule released today for the Spurs and all the rest of the NBA teams. And the big one everybody's talking about, the one in the Alamo Dome where they want to set an attendance record for the 50th anniversary. And how about those out-of-market games? In other words, out of town, coming up. Our San Antonio Spurs announcing today they will tip off their 50th anniversary season at home on October the 19th against the Charlotte Hornets. It's beginning to see if they can get back into the playoffs, missing out the last 3 seasons with Keldon Johnson as a new face of the franchise. So opening night, October the 19th against Charlotte, followed by a New Year's Eve game against Dallas. January the 7th, Boston, as Derek White comes calling. And DeJounte Murray, 2 times you can see him on the road and at home when his exit did not go so well. The San Antonio Spurs have also released the dates for the 4 out-of-market games, they call that will be played outside of the AT&T Center and the Alamo City this coming season. That's home games played outside. The biggest will be on January the 13th in 2023 with the Spurs returning to the Alamo Dome for their 50th anniversary celebration. Remember, the Spurs left the old Hemisphere Arena after the Alamo Dome was opened in 1993. That was their home until the new SBC, later AT&T Center, opened in 2003. The Dome will be configured, by the way, to hold 65,000 plus on that night, with the NBA attendance record for a single game set at 62,046. That was set on March the 27th, 1998, when the Chicago Bulls faced off against the Atlanta Hawks in the Georgia Dome. Let's see if the Spurs can break that. The Silver and Black also released their 2 games in Austin for April 6th and 8th, and the new Moody Center and the Lone Date in Mexico is set up for Mexico City for December the 17th. Here are the teams that will play in the game in Mexico City. Miami, Golden State will be the big draw for the January 13th game in the Alamo Dome. Then it's Portland and Austin, along with Minnesota. Our big game coverage previews take us to the campus of Southside High School, which is home to the Cardinals. That's where head coach Ricky Locke welcomes back 13 starters, 5 on offense, 8 on defense, off a team that managed to go 4-2 in district last year to make the playoffs and finish at 5-6 overall as by district finalists. Leading the Cardinals on defense will be Matt Castaneda, who also doubles as running back with 106 tackles as a 3-year starter and candidate for All-State honors. And it's Gary Hernandez, who takes over as quarterback after being an all-district wide receiver last year. That's after Nebraska commit Richard Torres was injured in week 4 last year.
I feel like last year we were very young, and I feel like this year we have way more experience together, all together. We have like maybe our whole defense coming back basically. So I feel like we're going to do really good.
I had a lot of injuries last year, and I feel like this year we're going in very healthy, and there's a lot of expectations for us on this side of town. They expect us to be that big, bad South Side again.
We feel pretty good about, coming in. We got a lot of work to do, but, we like to think we'd be in the mix,
All right, the regular season kicks off 1 week from this Thursday, first full Friday, 1 week from this Friday, and of course the KSAT Pigskin Classic, Saturday, August the 27th.
It's almost here. It's getting exciting. Thanks, Greg.
We'll be right back.
All right, here's the most important takeaway for tomorrow. Highest rain chances along and especially north of Highway 90, especially into parts of the hill country. I give it a 60% chance, 40% locally, and significantly lower south of town. Still some isolated activity on Friday. We'll be in the mid to upper 90s for the foreseeable future.
A thing of beauty. Thank you so much.
World News is next.